There are moments when, without knowing exactly why, a call arises within us. It's a voice so subtle it almost goes unnoticed, a whisper that seems to come from the deepest corners of our soul, inviting us to something we can't quite describe. This call comes not with words but with a light feeling, something that gently envelopes us and, over time, becomes hard to ignore. It is a silent invitation to question, to look beyond what we know, to open doors to a new perception of ourselves and the world. Have you ever felt this? Have you ever noticed, even for a moment, this sensation that something more awaits you? This is the beginning of the journey of transformation, a beginning that does not impose haste but awakens a desire within us to discover. Gradually we start to ask ourselves, what if the life I know isn't all there is? What if there's something beyond routines, roles, the limitations assigned to me? This is the first step toward awakening, a search for something deeper, something that brings us to a life of greater meaning and truth. This silent call does not demand, but it persists. And as we listen to it, something begins to stir within us. We feel a curiosity that goes beyond our experiences and the definitions we were taught to accept. It's like a breeze inviting us to step out of the comfortable shelter of the familiar and venture into new territory, on a journey that leads us inward. It is in this space that true transformation happens, where the old begins to make room for the new. This call does not promise immediate answers but encourages us to explore, to open our minds and hearts, to prepare for a transformation that is not imposed but emerges from our own essence. It is the beginning of a dance between who we were and who we might become, a passage that takes us from surface to depth, from noise to silence, from uncertainty to authenticity. As the call for transformation grows stronger, we start to feel the invisible weight of the expectations we carry. For years, perhaps all our lives, we have been shaped by the ideas and demands of the world around us, from society, family, and even the versions of ourselves we created to please, to belong, to be accepted. Like an invisible burden, these expectations accumulate, blocking the free expression of our most authentic self, smothering that inner flame that longs to manifest fully. Think of how many times you felt the need to be something you're not, just to fit a mold, to live up to an idealized image of who you should be. In trying to meet these external demands, our true essence slowly dims, hidden beneath layers and layers of masks. The authentic self, that unique spark within each of us, remains silent, waiting for the moment to be freed, to show itself to the world without fear or hesitation. Freeing ourselves from these expectations is like shedding armor that no longer serves us. It's a process that requires courage, for it asks us to confront the fear of judgment, the fear of being misunderstood. Yet each layer we remove reveals a more genuine version of ourselves, a lighter, truer version. This freedom brings us a new clarity, a reconnection with our own essence. When we let go of pressures and the opinions of others, we begin to feel a lightness, an open space within us that invites the authentic self to emerge. This is the first liberation needed for deep transformation. For before we can be who others expect, we must be true to ourselves. We must let our inner flame shine, illuminating the path that leads us to a life of authenticity and fulfillment. It's the act of allowing our true self to emerge, and in that freedom, we find the strength to be who we truly are. As we release external expectations, something powerful begins to emerge within, the power of intention. This force, subtle yet profound, is more than a simple wish or fleeting desire. It is a state of clarity that arises from our essence, a direction that defines and guides the course of our lives from the inside out. Intention is like a seed planted in the soil of our consciousness, and with care and attention, it grows, shaping our reality. To set an intention is different from wishing. It's a commitment, an anchoring of a vision in the heart, allowing it to blossom into actions, thoughts, and a new way of being. Imagine intention as the starting point of a journey. By setting it into practice, we're casting an anchor in the present that pulls our reality toward a new direction. And the clearer this intention, the stronger its impact, for it becomes an invisible thread that guides us, strengthening every choice, every step. When we live with intention, we begin to notice that the world around us responds as well. Life seems to open doors, connect paths, and offer us signs and synchronicities. After all, a true and genuine intention carries within it an energy of creation, a power that attracts what resonates with our deepest state of being. Have you noticed how, when you set a clear intention, obstacles seem to align to help bring it to fruition? Awakening the power of intention is, therefore, an act of conscious creation. It's cultivating an inner vision and letting it grow like a tree that sustains, guides, and inspires us. Every heart-born intention becomes a bridge to transformation, a promise of a new state of being. With it, life takes on renewed meaning, for we start to live not as mere spectators but as active creators of our reality, anchored in the power of the now and the clarity of who we truly are. Authenticity is a deep call to live the truth within us, a force that connects us with our innermost essence and allows us to exist without masks, without the need to please or mold ourselves to others' expectations. To be authentic is an act of courage, for it exposes us, shows us as we truly are with our lights and shadows. Yet it is in this exposure that we find freedom. It is in this surrender that our inner strength awakens. When we live authentically, our energy is no longer fragmented by attempts to be something we are not. On the contrary, it becomes concentrated and powerful, as it flows naturally from our essence. Authenticity transforms us because it brings us closer to what truly matters, frees us from superficiality, and connects us with our truth. And in expressing this truth, we discover a higher purpose, a freedom that transcends the limitations we impose on ourselves. Have you felt the power of being completely at peace with who you are? This state of being, so rare and yet so simple, is the force that drives true transformation. When we allow our essence to speak louder, we begin to attract experiences and people that resonate with our genuine state, our true self. Our choices become guided by clarity and trust, and each decision reflects who we truly are. Authenticity is the portal to a life of purpose and meaning, as it tunes us into what truly matters. By letting our inner truth express itself fearlessly, we allow our essence to unfold and our journey of self-discovery to flourish. Living authentically is an act of self-love and love for the world, a sincere expression of our truest self. In this meeting with our truth, we find peace, strength, and connection with everything around us. As we draw closer to our authenticity, we inevitably face inner resistance. Those parts of us that, out of fear or attachment, try to keep us from change. These are fears, insecurities, and doubts that arise like shadows, mirroring the aspects of ourselves we avoid, that we try to hide. These challenges are invitations for growth, opportunities to look deeply at what prevents us from moving forward. Facing this resistance is essential in the journey of transformation. It's like walking down a hall of mirrors that reflect our limitations, our old beliefs, and our oldest wounds. Each of these resistances carries a lesson, an insight that helps us see more clearly what needs to be released for us to expand. They are like guardians testing us, silently asking, "Are you truly ready to change? Are you prepared to leave the old behind?" When we accept these inner challenges instead of resisting them, we discover that behind every fear lies a new strength waiting to be awakened. Every insecurity overcome, every limiting belief dismantled, strengthens us and brings us closer to our true essence. By facing these parts of ourselves, we step out of who we were and make room for who we can become. Inner resistance is often the last barrier before true transformation. It forces us to look inward honestly, to recognize our own blocks, but it also teaches us that we have the capacity to overcome them. And by doing so, our confidence grows, our determination strengthens, and over time we become freer, lighter. Each internal obstacle overcome is a silent victory, proof that the inner self is capable of transcending what once seemed impossible. The human mind has an extraordinary power of creation, and when we combine visualization with deep feeling, we can shape our reality from within. To visualize is an act of imagining with clarity what we desire to be or experience. But visualization alone is only an image. It is the feeling that transforms this image into a real possibility. When we deeply feel the reality we desire, we are, in a way, already living in it. And then the future begins to unfold in our present, gaining form in life. Imagination is like the soul's laboratory, a space where we can experiment with states of being, where we can see and feel our transformation even before it manifests in the outer world. And just as an artist sees the finished work in their mind before touching the canvas, we too create internally what we want to experience. Visualization is more than a mental exercise, it's a way to connect with the energy of what we desire, a bridge between the present and the future we want to build. When we visualize with clarity and allow ourselves to feel what it would be like to live that reality, we are strengthening our intention, giving it shape and substance. Imagine a seed that, once planted, needs water, light, and nutrients to grow. Similarly, our vision needs to be nurtured by feeling, for it is feeling that transforms intention into reality. Heart and mind unite, creating an energetic foundation for what we seek, aligning our being with what we are attracting. Have you noticed how imagining and feeling can change your disposition, your energy? It's as if the future becomes a living presence, something we already begin to experience internally and that gradually draws closer to us. This practice reminds us that we are co-creators of our reality, that we have the ability to shape our lives by deeply connecting with what we desire to live. And so, transformation becomes a journey guided by vision and feeling, a dance between who we want to be and who we are becoming. The journey of transformation requires from us an essential quality: flexibility. Just as a river finds its way around stones and obstacles, adapting to the terrain, we too must learn to adapt to the changes and challenges that arise along the way. Life is a constant dance between movement and balance, and those who can adjust at each step find in flexibility a source of strength and resilience. Being flexible does not mean giving up on our desires but rather flowing with circumstances, allowing transformation to occur in harmony with what life presents. When we try to control every aspect of our journey, we end up exhausting ourselves as we create resistance to the natural movement of life. Rigidity blocks the flow of growth, while flexibility opens doors, reveals new possibilities, and allows us to find the hidden lessons in each situation. Adaptability is like a key that helps us unlock difficult moments and transform each challenge into a growth opportunity. Being flexible teaches us to trust the process, to see transformation as something not only under our control but also influenced by life's greater rhythm. Have you noticed how, when you stop resisting, things seem to flow more easily? When we become malleable, we keep our focus on intention, but we allow the path to reveal itself in unexpected ways. Flexibility is not giving up. It's having the wisdom to know when to move forward and when to adapt, when to press on and when to create space. In a journey of creation, adaptability keeps us aligned with life's natural flow. We navigate more lightly, responding to changes without losing sight of what truly matters. This is the beauty of flexibility. It keeps us in tune with transformation, helping us flow like the river, always moving toward the new, always moving toward the next step. On the journey of transformation, gratitude and resilience are indispensable companions. Gratitude is nourishment for the soul, a way of recognizing the beauty that already exists in our lives, even as we seek change and new achievements. It teaches us to value each step, each lesson, reminding us that despite challenges, there is always something to be grateful for. When we cultivate gratitude, we see life with more generous eyes, finding meaning even in difficult moments. Resilience, in turn, is the armor that allows us to face obstacles, setbacks, and uncertainties without losing heart. It's the capacity to rise again, to move forward with courage, even when the road becomes tough. Resilience is a strength born from our commitment to transformation and the faith we have in ourselves. It sustains us when everything around us seems to be in flux and reminds us that we can always go beyond what we once imagined. When we combine gratitude and resilience, we find a powerful balance. Gratitude keeps us grounded, while resilience drives us to keep going. Together, they create within us a deep peace, a confidence that no matter the circumstances, we have what it takes to move forward. In moments of doubt, gratitude reconnects us to the present, and resilience propels us toward the future with determination. Have you ever noticed how a simple act of gratitude can transform a difficult moment? Gratitude reminds us that life is a gift, that each experience, whether positive or challenging, contributes to our growth. Resilience, on the other hand, empowers us to embrace this journey with integrity and courage, knowing that every step, no matter how small, brings us closer to our truest self. Thus, gratitude and resilience become pillars of support on our creative journey. They help us face uncertainties, keep our hearts open, and live each experience as a precious part of our evolution. Together, they make us more whole, stronger, and more aware of the beauty in every moment. When body, mind, and spirit are in harmony, we experience a profound state of balance, an alignment that allows us to live and create with clarity and intention. This state of unity is like a sacred triangle supporting our journey of transformation, keeping us centered and in sync with the flow of life. This alignment is not merely a matter of well-being. It's a way to awaken the fullness of our being so we can manifest a reality that resonates with our truest essence. The body is our physical vehicle, the temple that allows us to experience life in the here and now. When we care for it attentively, honoring its needs and listening to its messages, we create a solid foundation that supports our journey. The mind, in turn, is the field where we cultivate our thoughts and intentions, the tool that shapes our reality. And the spirit, the most subtle aspect of ourselves, is the connection to the whole, to what is greater than us, an invisible thread that binds us to what is sacred. When these three aspects are in harmony, we enter a state of alignment that allows us to act with integrity and authenticity. Each action, each thought, and each feeling begins to reflect the unity between body, mind, and spirit, enabling us to live fully. Imagine a tuned musical instrument. It emits a clear, pure sound that resonates with harmony. Similarly, when our being is aligned, our life also resonates with a sense of peace and purpose. This alignment is an ongoing practice, a constant invitation to connect with our essence. In moments of imbalance, returning to this state helps us find our way, reminding us that we are a unified whole. And each small practice, whether a conscious breath, a pause for meditation, or a silent reflection, is a step toward this sacred balance. Living with aligned body, mind, and spirit is to create from a place of peace and presence, to be an open channel for the energy of life. In this state, our transformation strengthens, the new manifests naturally, and we experience the fullness of being here and now in complete harmony with the universe. Abundance is a state of mind, a way of perceiving the world as a vast field of possibilities and infinite resources. When we awaken to this awareness, we realize that the universe is generous, constantly offering us opportunities, lessons, and paths for growth. True abundance is not merely material possession. It is a state of trust in the flow of life, a feeling that everything we need is available at the right moment. The consciousness of abundance invites us to let go of scarcity, of the idea that we need to accumulate, that we must struggle and compete to have enough. It teaches us that by trusting the process and cultivating gratitude, we become natural receivers of all that is necessary for our journey. By opening ourselves to abundance, we connect with the field of creation, where each intention and desire aligned with our deepest truth finds fertile ground to manifest. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live without the fear of lack? Without the feeling that something must be conquered at any cost? This state of abundance frees us from external pressures and invites us to focus on what truly brings us joy, fulfillment, and peace. It reminds us that what we truly desire is not separate from us but part of the natural flow of life, which guides us and provides what we need for our evolution. By embracing abundance as an internal reality, we expand our field of possibilities. We begin to see resources around us, to value the opportunities that arise, to find wealth in every experience. And so, abundance ceases to be something we seek outside and becomes a frequency we carry within, reflecting a serene trust in the universe and our ability to create. When we open ourselves to this awareness, life becomes a mirror of our inner state. The more we align with a sense of fullness, the more our reality shapes itself to manifest this truth. And so, we transform our perception, our world, and everything around us, recognizing that by living in abundance, we are simply attuned to the natural rhythm of existence. Our past is a chest of memories, a record of moments that shaped who we are today. And although many of these experiences may have been painful or challenging, it's essential to view the past not as a chain that binds us but as a source of wisdom. Every memory, every experience holds a valuable lesson, a piece of the puzzle of our journey that, when integrated, strengthens our present and prepares us for the future. By looking at the past with compassion, we can release the weight we carry, healing wounds that often remain open out of fear or resistance. This act of integrating past experiences is like gathering the parts of ourselves we left behind, embracing them with understanding and gratitude. Each challenge overcome, each emotion lived, is a layer of wisdom that makes us more resilient, more aware, and, above all, more complete. Honoring the past does not mean reliving or clinging to it. It means using it as a guide, as a book of lessons that we can consult to grow. Have you noticed how the most difficult moments in life tend to teach us the deepest lessons? By accepting the past as an integrated part of our story, we allow it to propel us forward rather than limit us. It becomes a solid foundation, fertile ground from which we draw strength and clarity to walk with lightness. When we allow the past to become wisdom, we no longer see it as a burden but as a strength. It becomes part of our present, not as a shadow but as a light illuminating the next steps. Integration is this, a process of acceptance and healing, of transforming memories into insights, pain into personal power. And by making this integration, we prepare to live more fully and authentically, with a light heart and an open mind for what is to come. Life is a constant dance between being and becoming, an endless flow of changes and renewals that invites us to grow and evolve. Accepting this reality is to understand that transformation has no end point. It is a continuous process, a journey guiding us ever toward a broader, deeper, and truer version of ourselves. This acceptance frees us from the idea of an ideal self, a rigid goal that, once reached, would give us a sense of completeness. Instead, we learn to appreciate the beauty of always being in motion, in constant expansion. Accepting that transformation is an endless process teaches us to live with more lightness. We come to understand that we don't need to have all the answers, that we don't need to reach a perfect state to be happy or at peace. True peace arises from the acceptance that each moment is perfect in its own imperfection, that each step brings us closer to who we truly are, even if the path is made of ups and downs, challenges and triumphs. This continuous view of transformation allows us to embrace life with more curiosity, like a child who marvels at each discovery. Each phase, each experience becomes a chapter in a book that never ends but always reveals something new. Have you thought about how much richer the journey becomes when we accept that we are always learning, always growing? This attitude connects us to the natural flow of existence, a flow that doesn't demand perfection but presence, openness, and willingness to move forward. Living in acceptance is liberating. By understanding that transformation is an infinite journey, we stop seeking the ideal self and start valuing the present self, the one that exists here and now with all its qualities and vulnerabilities. Life is an open field of possibilities, an opportunity to continually reinvent ourselves, to discover new layers of ourselves with each step. And in this dance between who we were, who we are, and who we can become, we find the true essence of spiritual awakening. An endless journey of discovery, where each moment becomes a chance to be more connected, more aware, and more present. As we walk the path of conscious transformation, we begin to realize that something fundamental within us changes in an irreversible way. The old self, with its limitations, attachments, and fears, begins to dissolve, making room for a new version of ourselves, a self that is more authentic, more connected to the truth we have discovered along the way. This process reveals that awakening is not just an idea but a lived reality, a state of being reflected in each choice, each thought, and each action. Continuous transformation leads us to a state in which every decision we make reflects our renewed essence. This new self is not tied to the past nor limited by fear of the future. It exists fully in the present, where the freedom to live according to who we truly are resides. Each step on the path of self-knowledge and awareness brings us closer to a purer expression, where our inner truth aligns with our outer reality. It's as if each moment of presence, each act of gratitude, and each challenge faced restructures us from the inside out, creating a being that reflects more clearly the purpose of its own existence. There is no longer the need to seek confirmation of who we are from outside ourselves. There is no longer anxiety about fulfilling expectations that aren't our own. Instead, we live from an inner peace born of trust in our own process, in our own rhythm. And as we enter this state of creation and transformation, we realize that there is no return to who we once were. Each step we take is a journey of expansion and truth, an invitation to continue with courage and presence, embracing each new aspect that emerges. After all, the new self that is arising is the most authentic and powerful version of who we truly are. With each breath, each gesture, we integrate the wisdom that the process offers us, living with a sense of completeness that only the continuous journey can provide. If this message resonated with you, like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on self-knowledge and spirituality. Share this video with those you believe might also benefit from this message, and leave a comment with your thoughts and reflections. Thank you for watching and for being part of this journey. See you soon.